The bar was loud. Aliens of all kinds were laughing, shouting, and playing games. Yarrick, a human engineer, sat alone at a small table in the corner. His boots were dusty, his shirt was torn, and his face looked tired. But his eyes were sharp. He had just fixed a power system for a trade station and earned a few credits. Now he wanted to relax. An alien merchant sat across from him. The merchant had purple skin, gold rings on every finger, and a grin that looked dangerous. His name was Vorkal, and everyone in the room knew he was a trickster. They were playing a card game called 5 Moons. Yarrick had never lost a match. But Vorkal was confident. One last hand, Vorkal said, placing a heavy pouch of credits on the table. Winner takes all. Yarrick looked at his own credits. He had enough to leave the planet. But something in him whispered, "Play one more." Time, he nodded. All right, one last hand. The cards were dealt. Both players watched each other closely. Aliens gathered around the table, whispering and watching. The air was thick with tension. Vorkal smiled. Want to make it more fun? He snapped his fingers. A guard rolled in a small metal cage from the back room. Inside the cage was a girl. She was young, maybe 17. Thin, pale, and clearly not human. Her large eyes shimmered like moonlight. Her long silver hair covered part of her face. She was silent, scared, but she didn't cry. What is this? Yarrick asked, standing up. My daughter Vorkal said calmly. She's difficult, but I'm tired of her. She is part of the game now. Yarrick stared at him in disbelief. You can't bet a person. Vorkal shrugged. In this sector, rules are different. You win, she's yours. You lose, I take your ship. Everyone laughed. Some cheered, some were silent. Yarrick looked around. No one was stopping this. He looked back at the girl. Her eyes met his. There was no hate in them, only a strange sadness and a flicker of hope. Deal the cards, Yarrick said quietly. The game began. Yarrick's hands were steady, his mind sharp. Vorkal tried to distract him, throwing jokes, coughing, moving his hands, but Yarrick stayed focused. In the final round, Yarrick placed his last card. He won. The crowd gasped. Vorkal's smile disappeared. He stood up, angry but hiding it. Rules are rules, he muttered. He nodded to the guard. Who opened the cage? The girl didn't move. Yarrick walked slowly toward her. I don't want to own you, he said, but I also won't leave you here. Looked at him again. Her lips didn't move, but her eyes softened. He offered his hand. She hesitated, then took it. The room was silent. No one cheered. No one laughed. Yarrick led her out of the bar, his other hand resting on the grip of his blaster. He didn't trust anyone now. Outside, the wind blew sand across the streets. His ship was parked nearby. As they walked, the girl finally spoke. Her voice soft like wind. Why did you take me? Yarrick glanced at her. Because leaving you in that cage felt wrong. She said nothing. But for the first time, she smiled. Yarrick didn't know what he had just stepped into. He didn't know who she really was, but something told him. This was not just a game. This was the beginning of something much bigger. Yarrick's ship, the Rust Bucket, was old but strong. It had dents on every side, wires hanging in places, and a cockpit that hummed with strange sounds. But it flew. And for now, it was home. The alien girl sat quietly in the cargo bay. Her arms were wrapped around her knees. She hadn't said another word since they left the bar. Yarrick tried to talk to her. You hungry? He asked, holding out a protein bar. She didn't answer. You need water? No response. She just stared at the stars through the window, her silver hair falling over her face. Yarrick sighed and sat on the floor. not too close. Okay. You don't speak English. Maybe not yet. She looked at him for a second, then looked away. The ship flew through silent space. Yarek couldn't stop thinking. What had he done? He won a person in a game. That wasn't right. But leaving her behind. That would have been worse still. What was he supposed to do with her now? The ship's AI, a grumpy voice named Grit, buzzed through the speaker. You sure this is a good idea, Captain? No, Yarek replied. Not even close. Later that night, he walked past the cargo bay again. She was still there. Still silent. But something was different. Symbols were glowing on the wall behind. Her tasked strange soft lines, glowing faint blue. Moving like they were alive. Yarek froze. What is that? He whispered. The girl looked at him. Her fingers moved slowly, like drawing in the air. The glowing lines followed her hand. Yarek stepped. Closer. Is that your language? She didn't nod, but she didn't stop either. Then the lines faded. She pointed to her chest, then touched the floor, then tapped her temple. It was some kind of message. Yarek rubbed his face. Great. Now I need a translator. He went to the bridge and tried, scanning her with the ship's data sensors. But she didn't match any known species, not even close. No records. No DNA matches. Nothing. Grit, he said. Run deep scans. Try comparing her writing to ancient systems. Anything old. The AI grumbled. That'll take time. Weeks, maybe. Do it anyway. For the next few days, the girl stayed in the cargo bay. She didn't eat much, just little bites here and there. She barely slept. But sometimes, when she thought Yarek wasn't looking, she would draw in the air again. Glowing signs. Quiet beauty. Yarek started watching her more. One night, she moved to the wall and drew a large spiral shape. Inside it, she added 7 dots. Then she circled one of them and pointed to it. Then she pointed to the stars outside. Yarek leaned closer. That's a map, eh? She nodded, just a little. Yarek looked at the drawing. You're not from this system, are you? She didn't answer, but her eyes gave the truth. Then she reached into her coat. Slowly, carefully. Yarek moved his hand to his blaster, just in case. But she only pulled out a tiny metal cube. It floated in her hand. Then opened. Inside was a glowing orb, a memory sphere. Before he could react, the orb floated in the air and showed a scene. A castle alien, shining, floating above clouds. Guards with long armor. People bowing to a tall figure. And a child in silver robes. The child was her. Yarek stepped back. You're a princess. She didn't answer, but she didn't need to. The image vanished. Then, finally, she spoke. One word, clear, strong. Run. Yarek's heart skipped. Run. Why? She pointed out the window. His radar flashed red dot 3 ships. Incoming. Fast, he ran to the controls. Grit engines, now. Already on it, the AI snapped. The girl stood behind him, calm now, focused. He looked at her. They're after you, aren't they? She met his eyes. No fear this time, only truth, and a silent plea. Don't give me back. Yarek grabbed the throttle and pushed it forward. The ship jumped into hyperspace behind them. The unknown ships followed. Yarek had no idea what she truly was, but now he knew. One thing for sure, he wasn't just protecting a girl anymore. He was part of something much bigger, and there was no turning back. Yarek sat in the pilot's seat, staring at the controls. The stars outside were blurry as the ship raced through hyperspace. His hands were tight on the steering column, his jaw stiff. Behind him, the girl was quiet, too quiet. They had escaped for now, but Yarek knew. The chase had just begun. He turned and looked at her. She was sitting on the floor, legs crossed, eyes closed, breathing slow. Her hands glowed slightly again. Faint lines of light traced over her skin. "What are you?" he asked, not expecting an answer. But this time, she opened her eyes and spoke. Not what. Who. Her voice was clearer now, though her words were slow and careful. Like she was still learning the language. "My name," she said, "is Ayla." Blinked. "You can speak." She nodded. "I listen. I learn." He stepped closer. "You told me to run. Those ships, were they hunting you?" "Yes." "Why?" She looked down. Her hand touched her chest, then her temple. She spoke softly. "I am a danger." To them, Yorek frowned. "You don't look dangerous." Ayla stood. Slowly, her small body straightened, and for the first time. She didn't look like a scared girl. She looked like someone with purpose. "I was born to rule, but they fear me, so they erased me." Erased. Ayla nodded. Records, history, identity, all gone. Yarek turned to the ship's AI. "Grit, what about that scan result, the symbols she drew?" The AI crackled. "Match found. But you won't like it. Try me, ancient royal bloodline. Long gone, supposed to be extinct. From the Solari Empire vanished 300 years ago." Yarek blinked. "She's from a dead empire." "No," Allah said. "I am the last." Yarek rubbed the back of his neck. "Great. So now I've got a royal ghost hiding on my ship." She stepped closer to him. "Not ghost. Air." Before he could respond, Grit spoke again. "Captain, there's something else." Her ID bracelet had hidden data. Deep encrypted. "Decrypted," Yarek said. The AI paused, then continued. "There's a bounty, posted in 7 systems. Wanted Ayla of Solari status, dead or captured. Reward 1 million credits." Yarek stared at the girl. She stood still, her face calm. "You knew about the bounty?" he asked. She nodded. "Then why didn't you run before? No one would help, until you." Yarek shook his head. "I didn't help. I just didn't walk away. That is help." Suddenly, alarms beeped. "Ship on intercept path. Grit. Warned, 1 ship. Fast. Stealth class." Yarek ran to the console. "Can we outfly it?" "No, but we can hide." "Do it." The ship ducked behind a dark asteroid field. Yarek turned off the lights, killed the engines. Silence. The enemy ship passed, scanning the area. But didn't find them. After it left, Yarek sighed. "That was close." Allah walked up beside him. "They will not stop." "Kaino," he said. "But I need to know something else." She looked at him. "Why did your father the merchant bet you in a game?" She turned away, voice bitter. "Not father, not blood. He was my keeper." "My cage." Yarek's eyes narrowed. "He planned that bet, didn't he?" "Yes," she said. "He knew you would not leave me." Yarek shook his head in disbelief. "You mean?" "All of it was a setup." She nodded. "He could not run with me. So, he passed me to you. And now I'm the target," Yarek muttered. She looked at him, serious. "You are not just target. You are now protector." Yarek groaned. "I don't want to be anyone's protector. But you are," she said. "And soon, others will come. Some to hunt, some to help. My blood calls them. Your blood?" She lifted her hand. Tiny cut glowed with golden light. "My blood is signal. Ancient, strong." Yarek sat down. Ati's heart was heavy. He had come to this planet for simple work. To fix wires. To earn credits. To be left alone. Now he was hiding a royal girl with a bounty on her head and a signal in her blood. "I'm not ready for this," he whispered. Awa sat beside him, quietly, calmly. "No one is ever ready," she said. "But still, they choose." Arak looked at her, this strange, glowing girl who should not exist. This piece of history breathing beside him. He had no idea where this road would lead, but he had made his choice, and there was no going back. Now, Yarick didn't sleep that night. He sat in the ship's cockpit, watching the stars drift by slowly. His hand rested on the control panel. His eyes were red from stress, but his mind couldn't stop racing. He wasn't just carrying cargo anymore. He was carrying history. Awayala was asleep in the storage room, wrapped in a blanket he gave her. Her silver hair shimmered even in the dark. She looked peaceful, too peaceful for someone with a bounty on her head. The ship's AI, Grit, broke the silence. "Captain, one of the outer tracking beacons just went dark." Yarick sat up straight. "Destroyed, could be, or jammed. Either way, we're not alone." Yarick cursed under his breath. "They're getting closer." He walked quietly to Ayla's room. She was already awake. "I heard," she said softly. "How? I feel it, like a shadow." Yorick frowned. "You can sense them." She nodded. "I was trained that way. I was never meant to live free. Was made to survive." He didn't like the sound of that. "We need a plan," he said. "There's a place," she replied. "Hidden. Safe." "Where?" She moved to the wall and drew another glowing map with her finger. The stars formed. Shapes a red circle appeared around one system. Dead moon. Hollow core. Old base. Yarick studied the map. "It's a long shot." "But no one will find us there," she said. Before he could answer, Grit spoke again. "Ship incoming. 3 minutes, stealth class. Weapon system hot." Yarick cursed. "How are they tracking us?" Allah touched her chest. "My blood, my energy. I can hide it, but not forever." "Can you do it now?" She closed her eyes. Her fingers glowed, pressing against her skin. Her breathing slowed. Grit reported. "Signal weakening. Faint. Almost gone." "Good. Strap in." Yarick ran back to the cockpit. He powered the engines and pulled the ship into a steep dive toward a nearby asteroid belt. "Let's lose them in the rocks." The ship shook as they entered the belt. Massive rocks drifted in silence. One wrong move and they'd be crushed. But Yarick flew like a ghost through space, dodging, sliding, turning behind them. A shadow ship followed. It fired. The rear shield sparked. Ayla ran into the cockpit. "Let me help." "What can you do? Trust me." She placed her hand on the control panel. The lights on the ship flickered. The engines roared louder. And suddenly, the ship felt faster, lighter. What did you do?" Yarick asked. "I boosted the core," she said. "Energy speaks to me." Yarick smirked. "Well, tell it to keep speaking." He turned hard left. The ship spun between two giant asteroids. The shadow ship clipped one of the rocks. It spun out. Yarick hit the jump switch. They vanished into hyperspace. Hours later, they exited near a dark, cold system. No suns. No planets with life. Only a dead gray moon. Exactly where Ayla had pointed. The surface was cracked. Black dust floated in space. No signs of technology from the outside. But Ayla smiled. "We're here." Yarick landed. On a flat surface, the moment they stepped outside, Allah raised her hand. A circle of stone moved. A hidden entrance opened. Yarick followed her in. Inside was an ancient base empty. Silent, but alive with faint blue lights. Symbols on the walls glowed as Allah passed by. She walked like she knew this place. This was built long ago, she said. For safety, for the future. Yarrick looked around. Is this your people's hideout? She nodded. Before the fall, my mother used it once. She left me the map. They entered a control room. Yarrick activated. The systems. Power returned. The room lit up. Maps. Messages. Old warnings. Grit connected with a base and beeped. Captain, this place has old tech but powerful shields. Cloaking, even deep jammers. We can hide here. Yarrick looked at Ayla. We can. Rest? For now, she said. But not forever. Yarrick sat down, exhausted. He looked at her. You're full of surprises. She smiled faintly. So are you. He stared at her for a moment, then asked, Allah, why did your people want you gone? Her face darkened. I was not made to obey. I was made to lead. Yarrick frowned. So they feared you? They feared what I could become. Silence filled the room. Then she whispered, and now I fear it too. Yarrick didn't know what to say, but he knew one thing. She wasn't just a girl anymore. She was the key to something ancient and powerful, and someone, somewhere, still wanted her dead. Days passed inside the dead moon base. Yarrick spent his time repairing the old systems, cleaning the air filters, and trying to upgrade the ship. Grit, the ship's AI connected with the ancient tech and was learning fast. The place was strange, but safe. For now, Ayla mostly stayed in silence. She explored the glowing halls like she had walked them before. Sometimes she sat alone near the reactor core, drawing glowing symbols in the air. Other times, she just stared at the stars through the ceiling dome. Yarrick watched her often. He didn't know why. Maybe because she reminded him of a girl who never got to live a normal life. Or maybe because he was afraid of what she truly was. One day, while checking the external radar, Yarrick saw something new. Grit, he said, confirm what I'm seeing. The AI beeped, confirmed. Our faces are everywhere. On the screen, posters and images appeared. Cross markets, stations, spaceports RX, face and Ayla's too. Wanted, big reward. The words were clear. Wanted fugitive human aiding. Outlaw heir, Allah of Solari, dangerous. Approach with caution. Reward, 1 million credits. Yarrick cursed. Made me into a criminal. Ayla entered the control room and saw the screen. Her expression didn't change. They always do this, she said softly. Turn truth into lies. Yarrick looked at her. This is serious, Allah. You're not just being hunted. Now I am too. Sorry, she whispered. He paused. Do you think sorry is enough? She lowered her eyes. He sighed and sat down. Look, I didn't mean it like that. This wasn't the life I planned. Ayla stood silent for a moment, then walked to a glowing panel. She placed her hand on it. The wall opened, showing a hidden room. Inside were old clothes, books, a carved crystal crown. This was my mother's chamber, she said. She was queen for 1 year before they erased her. She hid me here once. Yarrick stepped inside. So all of this has been waiting for you. She nodded. He picked up one of the books. It was ancient, dusty, but her name was written inside Dela. You were always meant to return here, weren't you? No, she said. I was never meant to survive. This place was forgotten until you. Yarrick put the book down. Well, they remember you now, and they're coming. He turned to the console. We need to move. We can't stay here long. Ayla looked at him. You're still helping me, even now. He paused, then looked her in the eyes. I don't know what's right anymore. But leaving you feels wrong. Her eyes softened. You are strange. For a human? I'll take that as a compliment. Just then, Grit's voice rang out sharply. Captain, incoming message, private channel. From who? No ID, untraceable. But it's for you. By name? Yarek frowned. Put it through. The screen blinked. A hooded figure appeared. The voice was robotic. Yara Kane, you don't know me. But I know you're hiding the Solari air. Yarek reached for his blaster. The figure continued. I'm not here to turn you in. I'm here to warn you. The bounty is fake. The price is real. But the one who posted it isn't the government. It's the order. Yarek narrowed his eyes. What order? They were formed to erase Solari bloodlines. They operate in shadows. They control systems. Behind curtains, why are you telling me this? Because Ayla's life is more important than you know. And soon, others will try to use her. The screen blinked out before Jirak could ask anything else. Silence filled the room. Allah stepped forward. He told the truth. You know them. She nodded. They killed my father, poisoned the council, took control, then blamed it on rebels. Yarek leaned against the wall. This just keeps getting worse. We still have time, she said, but we must go where they won't look. Where? She thought for a moment, then pointed at a dark space on the star map. Uncharted sector. Ruins of old allies. Yarek stared at it. No one goes there. It's wild space. That's why we must. He rubbed his forehead. You're asking me to run into a place no sane person goes. She looked at him. You're already running. Might as well run forward. He chuckled. You really are. Royal, bossy too. She smiled, just a little. Yarek turned to the console. All right then. Let's give them a chase they won't forget. As the ship powered up and prepared to leave the moon, one thing was clear: Yarek was no longer just helping her, he was part of her story now. And whatever came next, he wasn't going to run alone. The ship floated in dark space, nothing around, no stars, no light. Just silence. Yarek sat in the cockpit, watching the radar. He kept glancing over his shoulder, expecting trouble. But there was Nunyet. Ayla stood behind him, arms crossed, her face serious. Her silver hair flowed like mist under the dim light. Her eyes glowed faintly now, stronger than before. They had entered the uncharted zone. This place feels dead, Yarek said. No, Allah replied. Sleeping. Suddenly, a ping from the radar. A small ship was nearby. Old, rusted, barely running. It drifted toward them slowly, like it didn't care about being seen. Grit, the AI beeped. Incoming. Message. Audio only. Yarek leaned forward. Play it. A woman's voice came through the speaker. Smooth, confident, calm. I come in peace. I need to speak with Ayla. Alone, Yarek tensed. Who is this? The woman answered, I am her mother. Ayla froze. Her breath caught in her throat. No, she whispered. Yarek stood. She telling the truth. Ayla shook her head slowly. My mother is dead. The voice came again. Ayla, look at me. A screen blinked on. The face of a tall, regal alien woman appeared. Her features looked just like Elisa Mai's, same shape of face. Even the same soft glow in her skin. Yarek couldn't deny it. They looked like family. AYL stared at the screen, frozen. The woman smiled. My daughter, I've searched for you for so long. You're not her, Ayla whispered. I am. I faked my death to protect you. Vorkal helped hide you. It was the only way. Yarek stepped in. Then why are you here now? Why reveal yourself? The woman's smile faded because time is short. The Order knows where you're heading. You must come with me now. Yarek narrowed his eyes, and if she doesn't? The woman's voice turned cold. Then you'll both die. Suddenly, Isla screamed, not in fear, but in fury. No. She shouted, "You lie." The screens flickered. A burst of light came from Ayla's hands. The woman's image distorted, glitched, warped. And then the truth appeared. The face changed. The image was fake. A soldier sat in a dark chair, metal mask. On his face, wires running down his arms. Cold red eyes stared from the screen. "You are clever," the soldier said to Allah, "but not clever enough." Allah stepped back, shaking with rage. "You used her face," she whispered. "You used my mother's face." The soldier laughed. "It worked, didn't it?" The screen turned off. Alarms blared. Yarrick jumped into the pilot seat. He locked onto us. "Shield up," Ayla shouted. "They're coming." 3 ships uncloaked nearby. Black, sharp, fast. Allah closed her eyes. "I'll stop them." Yarrick looked at her. "With what?" She didn't answer. Her body began to glow brighter, stronger. She stepped toward the back of the ship and raised both hands. Energy flowed through her arms into the ship's core. Lights flickered. The ship trembled. Grit shouted, "Power spike." Unknown energy source detected. Plus. Voice echoed through the ship. "Connect me. Let me fight." Yarrick hesitated. "You sure about this?" "Yes," she said calmly. "It's time." Yarrick activated the ship's full core access. In seconds, the ship responded to Isla's control. Lights brightened. The engines surged. She guided the weapons system with her mind. A blast of blue light shot from the ship's nose, cutting through one enemy ship like paper. Yarrick watched in awe. The second ship fired. Ayla raised her hand. A shield appeared, pure light. The blast vanished into it. Then she sent another surge of energy, and the second ship exploded. The third turned and fled. It was over. The ship was quiet. Again Allah collapsed. Yarrick caught her before she hit the ground. Her skin was cold. Her breath was shallow. "Isla," he said. She opened her eyes. "I'm okay, just tired." He carried her to the back room, laid her on the cot. "You can't keep doing this," he said. "You're not a weapon." "I'm not," she whispered. A warning. He sat beside her. "What do you mean?" She looked up at him, weak but still glowing faintly. "They made me to destroy, but I chose to protect." Yarrick touched her hand. "You don't have to be what they made you." She closed her eyes. "Then help me be something else." He nodded. "I will." But deep inside, he knew. This wasn't just about survival anymore. The girl beside him had power that could shake the stars, and the galaxy wasn't ready for her return. The ship floated in silence again. The battle was over. The enemies were gone, but inside, everything had changed. Ayla lay on the cot, her skin still glowing faintly, her body weak. She hadn't moved much since the last attack. Yarrick checked on her every hour. He gave her food, water, and warmth. But she didn't ask for anything. She just whispered one thing again and again. "Don't let them take me." Yarrick stood in the control room, staring at the stars. His hands were clenched. His mind was racing. The girl knew the air was more than he could handle. But he had come too far to turn back. Grit's voice broke the silence. "Captain, incoming message. Official seal. It's from the Galactic Peace Council." Yarrick frowned. "Put it on screen." A human woman in a dark blue uniform appeared. Calm, direct, but not unfriendly. "Yarrick, you are carrying someone the galaxy is desperate to find. We know where you are. You cannot run anymore." Yarrick stayed silent. The woman continued, "We're not here to hurt her. We want to protect her. If you hand her over now, you and your ship will be cleared of all crimes." No prison, no questions. You'll be rich. Yarrick crossed his arms. And if I don't? The woman's eyes turned cold. Then you'll be marked as an enemy of peace and hunted forever. The screen blinked off. Yarrick didn't move for a long time. Then Ayla's voice came from behind him. You should do it. He turned fast. She was standing, weak but steady. What did you hear? He asked. All of it. Yarrick stepped forward. You think I would just give you up? You should, she whispered. I'm not your problem. I never was. Yarrick shook his head. You're wrong. You don't even know what I might become. I don't care, he said. I know what you are now. She looked at him. What's that? He smiled a little. Someone who wants to live. Someone who chose not to destroy. That's enough for me. Tears filled her eyes. But she looked away. Then the ship rocked. A signal hit them. Strong, powerful. A transport ship appeared outside. The Peace Council had arrived. A voice echoed through the ship. You have 5 minutes to decide. Yarrick looked at Ayla. She looked back at him. No more running, she said. Yarrick stepped into the airlock. Ayla followed. Outside, the Council's ship opened its ramp. A group of guards stood there, blasters ready. A tall woman in blue waited calmly. You made the right choice, she said. Yarrick didn't reply. Ayla stepped forward, slowly, but just before she reached them. She stopped. Ask your council, she said, why they want me so badly. The woman's smile faded. Because Ayla continued, you're not afraid of what I might do. You're afraid of what I might say. The guards hesitated. Yarrick narrowed his eyes. What is she talking about? The woman didn't answer. Ayla raised her voice. My bloodline was never erased. My people were never rebels. Your council took the throne from us, lied to the stars. And you've hunted every survivor since. The guards looked at each other. Whispers, the woman ordered. Take her. A guard stepped forward, donned Yarrick, raised his blaster. Don't. The ramp went silent. The guards didn't move. Then one of the men, alien with green skin, Lord. His weapon, she speaks the truth, he said. I remember the old ways. My family served her people. More guards backed away. The woman shouted, this is treason. Ayla raised her hand. Her voice echoed with power. Enough lies. No more. Fear. The galaxy deserves the truth. A wave of light pulsed from her body, not an attack, not violence, just truth. Visions flashed in the air, memories of her people, her childhood, her real mother's face. The betrayal of the council, the secret orders of the hunters. Everyone saw it. The guards stepped aside. The woman trembled. You don't know what you've done. I know exactly, Ayla said. I chose not to hide anymore. Yarrick stepped beside her. We stand together. The woman ran back into her ship. It lifted and fled without another word. Silence fell. Ayla turned to Yarrick. You didn't have to stay. I know, he said. But I did. She smiled. Then, stay longer, he smiled back. Yeah, I think I will. Weeks later, the stars whispered a new story, of a girl once hidden, of a human who refused to walk away, and of a galaxy waking up to the truth. It had long forgotten. Rules were broken, but something better had begun, hope.